Good afternoon and welcome to the ITEC post-match interview with me, John Martin, and Pirates coach Gavin Cattle. The Pirates have just been held to a 28-all draw by Ampthill. Gavin, draws are always unsatisfactory. What's your view?
Oh, it's a crazy game, really. I was just saying there, synopsis-wise, struggling to get my head around it. I think it was about 20 turnovers each, so you can imagine that just, for me, just summarises how scrappy the game was. Ampthill, as always, spirited, opportunist, and yeah, hung in there and got some field position through penalties around the breakdown. I thought the defensive breakdown was very good in that second half, put us under a lot of pressure.
Things were different today to in recent weeks where you've been chasing the game. Today you got into the lead and let it slip.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm dumbfounded a little bit. If you're going to sustain pressure, you need to put bouts of possession, positive possession together, and we struggled with that today. We would do a good thing, followed up by a drop pat, and like I said, that turnover count. If you turn over that much ball, you're always going to be in a dogfight.
I was counting the penalties during the game as best I could. It was about 13 all. The referee's whistle tended to dominate that game.
It did. There was a couple I thought we got away with, and a couple I felt were a bit harsh when we were in possession. We got done for holding on or rolling a couple of times on the floor, which obviously it's referee's interpretation. But again, you've got to give Ampthill credit for that. They were dogs at that area of the game, and you could see they'd gone in with that purpose, which I thought at half time we dealt with it pretty well in that first half, but second half, we turned over too much of our own possession.
And yet again today you were playing with 14 men on occasions, a couple of yellow cards and then a red card.
Yeah, I thought the Corey Teague one was very harsh. Obviously it's tough for the referees as well because it's a snapshot, no replay. But Corey's a big man and he's dropped his height as far as he's going to go against a scrum half who's obviously shorter in stature. So that was a tough one, but I've got no complaints with John's. Obviously, red card, that was a shoulder on head, and nowadays you can't do that. So
playing with just 14 men is always a struggle for you, but you've been used to that this season, and you do keep fighting right to the end, don't you?
We do, but I think it's not something we strive to do, to play with 14 men. But again, with that tackle, or you see a lot in the Premiership as well, it's a new dynamic to the game. So it's not as if there's team penalties all the time. That tackle one today, I think, it stands on its own, really.
But the result of the game means you're unbeaten at home for the first time for a long time, or certainly in your tenure here at the Pirates, which is quite an achievement.
Yeah, it's the first time any Pirates team, so it's the first time in the Championship, so not the nature we want to do today. We'd have preferred to win, but again, that's still a massive achievement when you look back at some of the results we've had here, Jersey home, Doncaster home, all those top teams, Ealing home. Yeah. So it's been an outstanding effort.
When you review the season in general, you look at the top four, Pirates in the top four, you lost away to Jersey, Ealing and Doncaster, but you beat them at home. So that's a 50-50 split. There are other games in the league, though, that you should have won. Looking at Hartpury away, probably.
Oh, well, Hartpury, I think when we look back at that game, I think that was a turning point for us in terms of recognising that, we're in this. And it just shows how much that group have grown, really. I think we got shell-shocked there in terms of the level of contact. They physically dominated us up there, and they fully deserved that win. But we turned the corner after that. I think when you look at boys who've made a name this year, like Elderkin, Petchy, Corey Teague, Lewis Pearson, obviously getting a shout back. Patrick Schickling. There's a lot of boys names that were unrecognised that have come to the fore. Some have kicked on, and some are now more permanent fixtures.
I think, as you say, that could be the turning point of the season, and to end up third, which is what you'll do, is a hell of an achievement.
It is. Obviously, you get to the point against Ealing and you're thinking, it's there. So we're really close to it as well. And I think if you'd asked us at the beginning of the season with such a new group to achieve that, we would have taken it. Obviously, when you get that close to it, you want more. And I think you did see a bit of a knock-on effect, a bit of a hangover from that on some of the boys. Like people like Tom Duncan, Matt Bowell, even Josh Covey was on the bench today. A lot of boys have played a lot of minutes, and you're on that trajectory of potentially winning it, even if it's in the back of your mind. So look, we've got to obviously turn the page now to a cup competition. And that's a new challenge. The focus, we're clear with that, was looking at boys who are developing, who haven't had as much game time. because we need to get that energy back up there. So it's going to be an important period, important part of our development as well.
So yes, away to Doncaster next week. So you're suggesting that other players will come into the team?
Yeah, we have to. You have to. With such a small squad, and there's boys, it's striking a balance between performance and development. That's this league. That's our squad. So there's a big opportunity for them boys to put their hand up ahead of next year's league season.
Looking at the season overall, what's the difference between Pirates now and Ealing and Doncaster? Who will finish above you? Where do the Pirates have to go to reach that level?
I think you could put us and Doncaster on the same playing field. I think obviously Ealing are better resourced than any other team in the league, and that size of squad, you can keep people. You get different challenges with a bigger squad, but you've got fresh bodies. What you do get on the flip side, if you can keep everybody fit, you get a lot of cohesion, and I think that's what's played into our hands this year. That retention of the old guard, you could say, has not just kept our identity, but kept our game as well, our game model. So. I think the difference is, like the Ealing one is resource. So they, you're replacing. It's not going from performance development, it's performance. But I think us and Doncaster, you'd have to say we're in the same boat.
And looking at next season, you're obviously starting to discuss contracts with players. Are you losing players or are you keeping them on? What's the situation?
Oh, retention always a priority.
Yeah.
So we've put we haven't looked at many new additions just yet. You'll see, it's obviously a sensitive topic with individuals, but we've put all the contracts out to the lads, and obviously we're waiting. You go through the negotiation phase and all that, but that will hopefully come to a conclusion in the next couple of weeks, and then we can look at what positions we need to fill. Yeah. So as always, retention, like I said, that's our sort of intellectual property, if you like. They know our game now inside out, some of those lads, so really important that we keep them on board. And then add into that a new energy, which I think has been a learning for me, is that that the youth, the talent that's come through this year has given us a newfound sort of enthusiasm.
Has selection been difficult this season at
really,
times?
Really difficult. Yeah. So, what's difficult is the avenues of rugby. Obviously, we've got a great relationship with Red Roof, where we've accessed Plymouth as well this year, because it's not just about the performance on the field; it's that development. Like, our job is to develop players, and we've seen that Will Gibson, Ed Scragg at Plymouth. You've got Bear Williams, Steele Barker, and we've used numerous boys coming from India going to Red Roof as well. Yeah. Playing is really important. I think sometimes you can look at the level of rugby, but playing is important. So when they do come into the fold, they're ready to go.
These links with the other clubs, they'll continue next year?
Yes.
Dual registration with Exeter?
Because we haven't got enough for like a second team fixture and stuff like that. It's vitally important that, them teams get a benefit of a good player and we get the benefit of the boys coming back rugby ready.
The crowd were good here today, 1,600. The Pirates fans have followed you all season and been behind you. You've given them good rugby to follow. Well,
I'd like to think so. It's all about representing the Cornish people. We try and think, we look at our sort of values like resilience, hard working. I think you can call us that. Yes, we always want to be more accurate. We want a better performance, but our support's been brilliant this year. Winning helps. I think winning builds that, and hospitality going into that. Most weeks poking your head in there's been packed out pretty much every home game, so it's been a good year.
As coaches, have you enjoyed it?
Loved it. I've loved it. Yeah, I have. That COVID period was really difficult. I'll be honest with you. In managing people, it's such a foreign, alien thing for everyone to be part of, and getting through that. Obviously, that was into this year. It seems like it's been gone for quite a while, but it's been a big part of this season as well. And I go back to bringing that change of youth and new faces, and change of coach as well. Losing Morgs was a heart-wrenching thing. We've been together for a long time. But Louis been a great addition. Morgs left some great foundations, and Louis come in with new ideas, a fresh approach, and a different challenge then. So your coaching dynamic changes, and even that refreshes you as well. So, and then you've got Matt Jess, the ball of energy, who's popping in on a Monday and Tuesday as well. So we've got a good group here, good coaching group, and the boys have been a pleasure to work with.
So the future's looking rosy for the Pirates?
The future's always rosy, isn't it? Like people think about, you're going to lose play. Well, that happens every year. Our job is getting that game model right, and providing an environment that players can progress, develop, and get the Pirates performing week in, week out.
Well, some of those players are certainly developed. There's a lot of them playing in the Premiership now.
Yeah, it's been great to see. Obviously, love to be in a better position so that there are players, but our job at the minute, we just work within them realms.
Gavin, thank you very much for talking to us. Well done on everything you've done, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks for your support. Cheers.
Gavin Cattle, the Pirates coach, reflecting on today's performance and the whole season. The last league game of the season, the Pirates have been held to a 28-all draw by Ampthill. Thank you for watching the ITEC post-match interview.